about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're getting ready for Easter, so we're starting to prep the face with Caudalie Beauty Elixir. We're going in with a primer. I'm using the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip primer to make my makeup stick today. And I figured I would do some pastel Easter colors, so you'll see that a little bit later here in the video. But we're getting ready to go to Mandare for our family dinner. Foundation, I used the Kosas foundation. I love that foundation so much. I'm using the Taupe Blendiful to blend it out, and you'll see how quickly it blends into my skin. This is the perfect shade for me. I believe it is 210 Light Olive Neutral, and it's so good. This foundation and concealer combo does not settle into my fine lines, and it does not... I kind of feel like it's perfect for dry skin. I myself have really dry skin, and I feel like especially the concealer, it's like really moisturizing without settling into your fine lines and under the eyes, especially, if that makes any sense. But it's probably one of the best concealer foundation combos I've tried, and I've tried a lot over the past few years. So but I love this Blendiful. It really does work like magic. It's kind of like those powder puffs you find in those like powder compacts. As for concealer, I'm going very lightly today. I'm just putting some under the eyes, around my nose, and on one of my pigmentation spots because it's pretty dark. And I decided to blend this out with my brush, but you could still use the Blendiful. You just have to use the tip of it, kind of like a concealer brush. So I used the Fenty Gloss Balm on my lips first, and then I went in with my Makeup Forever lip liner. I believe this is 606 Wherever Walnut. It's a very neutral shade, and it just kind of makes my lips stand out a little bit, but it's not over dark or anything, and I didn't want to have dark makeup for this Easter look. So next, I'm going in with brows, and when I have a lighter eye look, or if I don't have eyelashes on, sometimes I like to darken the brows a little bit more than normal. So you'll see that I do intensify them quite a bit, but I don't make them oversized. I know I kind of look back at my makeup looks from like, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago, and I do notice a huge style change in my makeup. Like I go from like really big heavy brows to like more natural looking brows, and I'm kind of liking the look nowadays. So with these brow products, I'm actually using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade medium, and to kind of safeguard that color and to make sure it doesn't come off and to keep all of my brow hairs in place, I used the Benefit Brow Gel. I believe it's like the 24-hour brow gel. It's probably one of my favorites since I started using it maybe last year. And I think I used to use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, and that one's pretty good too. I just haven't purchased it in a while. So the next step in this process is to blend out my concealer. So you might be wondering why I chose to not blend it out until right now. Sometimes when I let it dry down a little bit, it helps to adhere better. Not just adhere, but just blends out better. If I move it around right as soon as I lay the product down, sometimes I feel like the coverage isn't the best. So I wait a little bit for it to dry, and then it works good. For powder, and I'm setting my face with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Powder in the shade 01. This powder is a pressed powder, but it's so finely milled that I just love it. I love it for very light coverage. I wouldn't use it if you're using like a full coverage foundation because I don't think it will set as well as like a loose setting powder, but this just keeps everything in place for me. For shadow, I'm using my Colorpop Lilac You A Lot, and I wet my brush because every time I put on a sparkly shade, if I'm using one shade, I love this look. The adding like MAC Fix Plus water or some kind of setting spray just intensifies the shadow sparkle so much. And as it dries down, I feel like instead of getting more powdery looking, it kind of gets more sparkly. And then the sparkles fall down into your cheeks and just looks really magical and really pretty, especially with this kind of lighter purple. I wouldn't call it lavender, but it's definitely really pretty. So you'll see that I go in and layer a lot, and that's just to make sure that the shadow doesn't come off throughout the day. I only put a little bit of concealer on my lid. I did not put an eye primer. Probably should have, looking back. For blush, I'm using my Nars Rising Stars palette. This was a limited edition palette that was released last year, well, I guess fall 2022, and it's probably one of my favorite palettes. I'm going in to blend out my blush, and you could see my daughter there, so she was excited. We were going to Mundare for Easter, and she wanted to do makeup with me, but unfortunately I had to send her away. Okay, so I'm using the highlighter in this palette to highlight my cheeks. I noticed it doesn't really show up that well, but I didn't want a blinding highlight for Easter. So I'm going in and blending out the edges of my shadow just to make sure that there are no sharp edges around my eyes. That's one step in that process that I always do. I'm using my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara here. And for an inner corner highlight, I decided to try That's Taupe by Colorpop. But I think I still ended up going in with my Mary Lou by the Balm highlighter. And this adds a little bit of kind of glow to the inner, like not the inner eye, but on the ball of the eye. So like right in the middle. And when the camera flashes, it kind of just makes everything pop a little bit. And it makes your eyelid look appear a little bit bigger if you put it right in the center. So here I go in with my Mary Lou highlighter, and I'm just doing a little bit on the inner corner and underneath the brow bone. And I'm finishing with setting spray, and that is it for this makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give the video a thumbs up. If you're new, please subscribe, click on the bell button, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, friends.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.